The golden sun rose gently above Enchantia, painting the palace gardens with soft light and filling the air with the sweet fragrance of blooming roses. Princess Sofia stretched her arms happily as she stepped out onto her balcony. Today felt different, special somehow. She couldn't quite explain it, but her amulet, the amulet of Aurora, sparkled more brightly than usual. Whenever this happened, Sofia knew that something magical was about to begin. The young princess hurried through the palace halls, her dress swishing as she went. She waved cheerfully to Bailiwick and greeted Clover, who was nibbling on a carrot in the courtyard. Clover twitched his whiskers and said, "You look extra excited this morning, Sofia. Something up?" Sofia smiled, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. "I don't know yet, Clover, but my amulet is glowing brighter than ever. That usually means an adventure is waiting for me. I think today I might meet someone very special." The rabbit tilted his head, ears twitching curiously. "Special? Like a royal guest? Or maybe one of those princesses the amulet calls sometimes?" Sofia giggled softly. "Maybe, but I don't think it's just an ordinary visit. The amulet feels different this time." Later that day, as Sofia strolled beyond the castle gates, she wandered into the Whispering Woods, a place where trees seemed to murmur secrets when the wind passed through their leaves. Butterflies flitted in the air, and the gentle babble of a stream accompanied her steps. Suddenly, the amulet glowed so brightly that Sofia shielded her eyes. A soft swirl of golden magic appeared before her, shimmering like morning sunlight breaking through mist. Out of the glow stepped a graceful figure. She had flowing golden hair, eyes as gentle as the dawn, and a gown that shimmered like the light of early morning. Sofia gasped softly. She knew who this was, for she had heard stories about her many times before. "Princess Aurora!" Sofia whispered in awe. Aurora smiled kindly, her voice like a melody carried by the wind. "Hello, Princess Sofia. The amulet of Aurora has brought me here to you." Sofia's heart raced with excitement. She had met many princesses through her amulet, but Aurora's presence felt uniquely magical. There was a serene calmness about her, as if the whole forest had fallen silent just to listen to her speak. Aurora knelt slightly so that her eyes were level with Sofia's. "You have a pure heart, Sofia, and I sense that you are about to face a challenge that will require both courage and kindness. I am here to help you." The trees rustled softly, almost as though they were nodding in agreement. Sofia clutched her amulet and asked, "What kind of challenge? Is something wrong in Enchantia?" Aurora's expression grew thoughtful. "Not wrong exactly, but there is a part of this forest that has fallen into shadow. A thorny curse has begun to spread again, threatening the harmony of the woods. It is faint now, but if left unchecked, it could grow stronger." Sofia's eyes widened. "A thorny curse? Like the one that once put you to sleep?" Aurora nodded gently. "Yes, it feels very much the same. Someone, or something, has awakened it. We must discover the cause and restore balance before it harms your kingdom." For a moment, Sofia felt nervous. She was still learning what it meant to be a princess, and the thought of facing such a powerful curse frightened her. But when Aurora reached out and took her hand, a wave of calm courage flowed through her. "You are never alone, Sofia," Aurora said softly. "Kindness and bravery shine brighter than any darkness. Together, we can face this." Sofia smiled, determination returning to her heart. "Then let's do it. We'll protect Enchantia and the Whispering Woods." The forest seemed to glow brighter around them, as if approving their vow. The adventure had begun. The Whispering Woods were beautiful in the morning light. But as Sofia and Aurora walked deeper into the forest, the air began to change. The cheerful songs of birds grew faint, and a hush fell over the trees. A chill swept through the branches, as though the woods themselves were holding their breath. Sofia felt her amulet tremble softly against her chest, and she knew that some kind of magic was at work. Aurora placed a gentle hand on Sofia's shoulder. "Do you feel it too, Sofia?" The air is heavy with shadow magic. Sofia nodded. Yes, Princess Aurora. My amulet glows whenever dark magic is near. It's warning us. The path ahead twisted into a narrow trail, where thick vines crept across the ground. At first, they looked like ordinary forest plants, but as Sofia leaned closer, she saw sharp thorns glistening with an unnatural black sheen. These thorns seemed alive, pulsing faintly as if filled with magic. Aurora's face grew serious. These thorns are cursed. They were born of Maleficent's dark spell long ago. Even after she was defeated, traces of her magic lingered in the world. Someone has awakened them again. Sofia stepped carefully around the vines, but as she moved, the thorns began to twist and curl toward her feet. She gasped and stumbled back, only to watch the thorny vines strike the earth where she had been standing a moment before. "They're alive!" Sofia exclaimed. Aurora's eyes narrowed. "Yes, they are drawn to light and goodness. We must be careful." With graceful determination, Aurora raised her hand. A soft golden glow surrounded her, the light of her spirit shining brightly. The thorns recoiled at first, hissing like snakes in the sunlight. But then, as though angered, they surged forward again. Sofia clutched her amulet tightly. "Amulet of Avalor, give me strength." Her voice was small but steady. The gem flared with violet light, casting a protective glow around her and Aurora. Together their light created a barrier strong enough to push the thorns back. As the vines retreated, Sofia spotted something unusual up ahead. In the middle of the path stood a small crystal, wrapped in layers of thorny vines. Unlike the forest around it, the crystal pulsed with a sickly green light. Sofia's amulet pulsed harder, as though urging her forward. Aurora noticed it too. That crystal is the heart of this corruption. Destroy it, and the thorns will lose their power. Sofia swallowed nervously, but her courage held. She stepped forward, raising the amulet high. The violet glow grew brighter, brighter, until it shone like a star in the forest shadow. She focused all her thoughts on light, friendship, and bravery. With a sudden flash, a beam of violet light struck the crystal. The crystal shattered with a sharp crack, and the thorns around it dissolved into black smoke. The path cleared, sunlight spilling once again onto the forest floor. Sofia turned to Aurora, breathing heavily. "We did it." Aurora smiled warmly. "You were very brave, Sofia, but I fear this was only the beginning." The forest had quieted since the crystal's destruction, yet a strange stillness remained. The air felt expectant, like a curtain drawn before the next act of a play. Sofia glanced at Aurora, who moved gracefully, though her expression carried thoughtful concern. "Who could have placed that crystal here?" Sofia whispered. Aurora's gaze swept across the trees. Dark magic often seeks a vessel. Whoever awakened this curse is not acting alone. The forest itself may be protecting the truth. Clover hopped nervously at Sofia's side. "Protecting? Or hiding? Because I've got a feeling we're about to find out." They pressed onward, following a winding trail deeper into the whispering woods. The trees thickened, their branches interwoven like arms locked in secret conversation. Rays of sunlight barely pierced through the canopy, and the ground grew soft with moss. Every sound, crunching leaves, snapping twigs, echoed louder than it should. At last, they reached a glade where an ancient oak stood, its trunk wide and scarred, its roots twisted like sleeping serpents. Sofia felt the amulet pulse, almost like a heartbeat. Aurora touched the bark gently, and the tree trembled as though recognizing her. "This oak is older than both our kingdoms," Aurora said softly. "It has watched centuries pass and keeps many secrets. If anyone can guide us, it is the keeper of this forest." The ground rumbled faintly, and to Sofia's amazement, a face slowly emerged upon the trunk, ancient, wise, and gentle. The tree's voice was deep and echoing, like wind moving through caverns. "Princess Aurora," it rumbled, "child of dawnlight, and Sofia, bearer of Avalor's amulet. I know why you have come." Sofia gasped softly, but managed a curtsy. "Great oak, Can you tell us who placed the crystal in the woods? The tree's eyes glowed faintly green. A shadow long forgotten has stirred. It is not malefic, but another, one who learned from her darkness. This shadow seeks to weave thorn and fear together, spreading across the kingdom. Aurora's brows knit in worry. Do you know their name? The oak's voice grew lower. Names have power. I will not speak it here. But beware. The shadow cloaks itself in whispers, moving unseen. The crystals are only seeds. If left to grow, they will bind Enchantia in sleep. Sofia shivered. Like your kingdom once was. Aurora placed a hand on Sofia's shoulder. But this time, we have warning. And together, we will stop it. The oak leaned closer, its branches creaking. You must journey to the river of reflections. There, truth reveals itself, but only to those brave enough to face what they fear. The next crystal lies hidden in its waters. Clover groaned. Oh, great! Water, my least favorite place to be. Why couldn't the shadow hide it in a carrot field instead? Despite her nerves, Sofia giggled. Don't worry, Clover. We'll keep you safe. Aurora thanked the oak, who slowly closed his eyes and returned to stillness, his bark settling once more into silence. Sofia looked to Aurora. The river of reflections. Will it really show us the truth? Aurora's expression grew gentle but serious. Yes, but be prepared, Sofia. The river does not only reveal answers, it reflects our hearts, even the parts we wish to hide. Sofia nodded, determination lighting her face. Then that's where we'll go. The amulet pulsed warmly, as though agreeing. They turned toward the east, where the sound of faint rushing water whispered through the trees. The forest opened a path before them, guiding their steps. Unseen in the shadows, however, a cloaked figure watched silently. The figure's eyes gleamed with cunning satisfaction. The princesses were drawing closer, but with each step they walked nearer to the snare waiting for them. By the time Sofia and Aurora reached the river of reflections, twilight painted the sky in hues of lavender and gold. The river shimmered unnaturally, its surface glassy and smooth, like a mirror spread across the earth. Every ripple reflected more than just faces. It revealed flickers of memories, hopes, and fears. Sofia stepped forward cautiously, her eyes wide. It's so beautiful, and a little scary. Aurora nodded softly. The river reveals truth, Sofia. We must tread carefully, for not all truths are easy to face. Clover peered at the water nervously. Do I have to look in? Because I don't really want to see what my reflection thinks of me. Sofia smiled gently. Don't worry, Clover. No river can change who you are to me. Aurora extended her hand, and together with Sofia, she stepped into the shallow edge of the water. Instantly, the river rippled, glowing brighter. Sofia gasped as images swirled beneath the surface, herself wearing a crown as queen, Clover standing proudly at her side, Amber smiling warmly instead of with jealousy. But then darker visions appeared, herself trapped in brambles, her amulet shattered, Enchantia asleep under shadow. Sofia's heart clenched. Is that my future? Aurora's voice was calm. It is possibility, not certainty. The river shows both paths, what may come if you falter, and what may come if you stand strong. Which future becomes real depends on the choices you make. The water shifted again, revealing Aurora's own reflection. Sofia saw her surrounded by thorns, her kingdom once more caught in eternal slumber. But then the image brightened, Aurora standing free with her prince by her side, light overcoming darkness. Aurora inhaled deeply, steadying her courage. Even I must face these visions, but fear loses its power when we choose not to bow to it. At that moment, the amulet glowed fiercely. The river parted slightly, revealing a glowing crystal embedded within the current. Unlike the last, this one pulsed faster, as though it had fed upon the fears just shown. There, Sofia cried. Aurora stepped forward, but the water surged violently, forming walls that rose like hands. Out of the waves slithered thorny vines, twisting into monstrous shapes. The river itself had become a guardian. Sofia's heart raced. She reached for the amulet, but the vines lashed out, blocking her. Aurora summoned her courage, striking at the shadows with beams of light summoned from her hands. "Focus, Sofia," Aurora called. "Your heart is the key." Sofia closed her eyes, remembering the lesson from before. She thought of the love she had for her family, her friends, and her kingdom. She thought of Aurora's calm strength beside her. The amulet blazed, and a burst of violet light radiated outward, striking the crystal. The vines shrieked and dissolved, the river calming instantly. The crystal shattered with a resonant crack, its dark glow extinguished. Breathing hard, Sofia looked at Aurora, who smiled proudly. "You are learning quickly, Sofia. The amulet responds to your courage." Clover hopped onto Sofia's shoulder, dripping wet. "Next time, let's hope the bad guy hides their crystals in a nice, dry library." Sofia laughed despite her exhaustion, but Aurora's face grew serious again. "2 crystals have been destroyed, but the shadow will not give up so easily. They know we are seeking them now." The river whispered softly, carrying their reflections away. Sofia felt a chill of unease, but also a growing flame of determination. Whatever darkness waited, she would be ready. The night sky above Enchantia glimmered with stars, yet beneath the canopy of the whispering woods, the darkness felt heavier. After leaving the river of reflections, Sofia, Aurora, and Clover followed a winding path lit only by fireflies. The amulet glowed faintly, pulsing in steady rhythm as though guiding their steps. Aurora's expression remained thoughtful. 2 crystals destroyed, yet the shadow grows bolder. I fear their power lies not only in the magic they plant, but in the fear they spread." Sofia nodded solemnly. "Then we'll have to be braver than ever." Clover muttered, twitching his ears. "Bravery is one thing, but if I see another vine monster, I'm burrowing underground." Aurora smiled softly, but her eyes scanned the woods. "We are not alone here. The forest whispers warnings." Suddenly, the path ahead darkened, shadows stretching unnaturally across the ground. A cloaked figure emerged, tall and imposing. Their voice hissed like wind through thorns. "So, the little princesses dare to challenge me." Sofia's breath caught. "Who are you?" The figure's hood lowered slightly, revealing pale eyes glowing with a greenish hue. "I am Morwenna, keeper of shadows, disciple of Maleficent's craft. She may have been defeated, but her thorns left roots. I water them." Aurora's eyes narrowed. "Why return the curse? Have you not seen the suffering it brings?" Morwenna's smile was cold. "Suffering breeds silence. A kingdom asleep cannot oppose me. Soon, Enchantia will rest forever beneath my thorns." Sofia clenched her fists. "We won't let that happen." The shadowy sorceress laughed, and with a wave of her staff, thorny vines burst from the ground, circling the clearing. Sofia and Aurora stood back to back as the thorns writhed closer. Aurora raised her hands, summoning beams of golden light, cutting through the vines. "Sofia, your amulet! Focus its power!" Sofia gripped the amulet, but fear tugged at her heart. The vines towered over her, and Morwenna's eyes glowed brighter. For a moment, doubt clouded her courage. Aurora's voice rang clear. "Remember, Sofia, light grows where kindness lives. You are stronger than you know." Taking a deep breath, Sofia closed her eyes. She thought of all those who relied on her, her family, her kingdom, her friends, and even Clover, still braver than he admitted. The amulet flared, sending out a wave of violet light. The vines recoiled, hissing. Morwenna raised her staff, shielding herself. "Impressive, but your heart will tire before my darkness fades." With a swirl of her cloak, she vanished into shadows, leaving the thorns to crumble into ash. Aurora placed a calming hand on Sofia's shoulder. "You did well, but she will return. The true battle lies ahead." Sofia exhaled shakily. "We have to find the last crystal before she does." The amulet pulsed again, brighter than before. Aurora looked eastward. "It points us toward the forgotten glade. That is where the final crystal waits." Clover groaned. "Forgotten glade? Doesn't that sound like the kind of place where rabbits get eaten?" Sofia smiled faintly despite the fear in her chest. "Don't worry, Clover. You're with us, and together we'll stop her." The trio pressed onward, the forest guiding their path. But as they walked, Sofia couldn't help but feel the weight of Morwenna's parting words. The shadow would not give up until the kingdom lay under thorns. And soon the final test would come. The forgotten glade lay hidden deep within the whispering woods, untouched by time. Its silence was eerie, broken only by the rustling of thorny vines creeping along the ground. The moonlight revealed a circle of withered trees, and in the center stood the last crystal, larger and darker than the others, pulsing with ominous green light. Sofia shivered. "It feels alive." Aurora's eyes narrowed. "That crystal is the heart of the curse. If we destroy it, Morwenna's power will fade." Suddenly the air grew cold. Shadows slithered along the ground as Morwenna appeared, her cloak billowing. She raised her staff triumphantly. "You've meddled too long, little princesses. Tonight, Enchantia will sleep forever." With a sharp gesture, she struck her staff to the ground. The vines surged upward, forming towering beasts of thorn and shadow. Their roars shook the glade. Sofia and Aurora stood ready, light shimmering from their sides. Aurora whispered quickly, "Sofia, you must reach the crystal. Only your amulet can destroy it. I will hold off Morwenna." Sofia hesitated. "But you can't face her alone." Aurora smiled warmly, even in the face of danger. "I faced darkness before, and I will again. Trust yourself, Sofia. You were chosen for this." Heart pounding, Sofia dashed forward, Clover clinging to her shoulder. The beasts lunged, but Aurora's light flared, striking them back. Morwenna hurled bolts of shadow, but Aurora countered with beams of golden dawn. Sofia weaved through the chaos, her eyes fixed on the crystal. The amulet pulsed, urging her onward. Yet when she reached it, thorny walls shot up, blocking her path. Clover squeaked, "Great, now what?" Sofia closed her eyes. She remembered the river of reflections, how it showed her both hope and fear. She remembered Aurora's words, that strength came from the heart. Raising the amulet high, she called out, "For my king, Nangdom, for my family, and for all who live in Enchantia, I will not let darkness win." The amulet blazed brighter than ever before. A beam of violet light burst forth, slicing through the thorns. Sofia rushed forward, placing her hands upon the crystal. Morwenna screamed, turning toward her. "No, it is mine!" The crystal trembled as Sofia's light clashed with Morwenna's shadow. The ground shook violently, the trees groaning. Aurora struck Morwenna with a radiant wave, forcing her back. "Now, Sofia! Finish it!" Summoning all her courage, Sofia poured her heart into the amulet. The crystal cracked, splintered, and finally exploded into a shower of light. The thorn beasts collapsed, the vines withered, and the glade filled with peaceful silence. Morwenna shrieked, her form unraveling into shadows. "This is not the end, child. Darkness always returns." With that she vanished into smoke, leaving only the echo of her rage. Breathing hard, Sofia stumbled back. Aurora rushed to her side, steadying her. "You did it, Sofia. The curse is broken." The amulet glowed softly now, calm and warm. Its duty fulfilled, Sofia looked at Aurora, gratitude shining in her eyes. "I couldn't have done it without you." Aurora smiled. "No, Sofia. You couldn't have done it without yourself. That is the lesson." Clover sighed, shaking his fur. "Well, I don't know about you, but I'm never looking at another thorn bush again." They laughed softly together, relief filling the glade. Yet Sofia knew this was more than just victory. It was proof she could rise to any challenge her amulet brought. The following morning, sunlight returned to the whispering woods. Where once thorns had spread, flowers now bloomed, their colors brighter than ever. Birds filled the air with joyful song, and the trees swayed gently, as if bowing in gratitude. Sofia, Aurora, and Clover walked back toward the castle, their journey nearly complete. The amulet rested against Sofia's chest, glowing faintly in peace. Aurora spoke gently. "You faced your fears with courage and kindness, Sofia. That is what it means to be a true princess." Sofia's cheeks warmed. "I was scared so many times. but you help me believe in myself." Aurora smiled. "The strength was always within you. I merely reminded you of it." As they neared the palace gates, Bailiwick and Sophia's family rushed to meet her. Queen Miranda embraced her tightly. "Sophia, we were so worried." King Roland placed a hand on her shoulder. "I heard whispers of shadows in the forest. Did you truly face them?" Sophia nodded, her eyes shining. "Yes. With Princess Aurora's help, I destroyed the curse before it could spread." Amber stepped forward, her expression unusually soft. "You're so brave, Sophia. I'm proud of you." Sophia smiled at her sister, feeling warmth blossom in her heart. "Thank you, Amber." Aurora turned to the family, her golden hair glimmering in the sunlight. "Your daughter has shown great courage and wisdom. Enchantia is safe because of her." Clover puffed up his chest. "And don't forget her loyal rabbit sidekick." Everyone laughed, easing the tension of the night before. Yet, as the laughter faded, Sophia glanced at Aurora with a touch of sadness. "Does this mean you have to go now?" Aurora knelt, meeting Sophia's eyes. "Yes, child. The amulet brought me here for this purpose. Now that the task is complete, I must return. But remember, Sophia, you are never truly alone. The lessons you've learned will stay with you forever." Sophia hugged her tightly. "Thank you, Aurora. I'll never forget you." Aurora smiled gently. "And I will never forget you, brave Princess of Enchantia." With that, she shimmered in golden light, fading slowly until only the forest breeze remained. Sophia touched the amulet, feeling its soft glow. She whispered, "I'll make you proud." That evening, as the castle prepared for celebration, Sophia stood on her balcony, gazing at the stars. The woods stretched peacefully beyond the walls, no longer whispering in fear but in harmony. Clover hopped beside her, chewing on a fresh carrot. "You did good, kid," he said between bites. Sophia smiled. "We did good, Clover." The amulet sparkled, and for a brief moment Sophia thought she heard Aurora's gentle voice in the breeze. "Kindness and courage shine brighter than any darkness." With renewed determination, Sophia looked ahead. She knew her journey as a princess had only begun. There would be more challenges, more lessons, and perhaps even more visits from magical princesses. But whatever came, she was ready. And so, under the watchful stars, Princess Sophia's heart glowed with the light of dawn, brighter than shadows, strong enough to face any destiny,